host live. Welcome. I had some issues with Facebook last time. It seems like it should be working now. Streaming on right now, I just hit streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So we should be live. I have people texting me, Munif, where do I join the live? The live is on my Facebook page. So I did start a little late today. I apologize. We have a closing. We actually have a closing that is set for Wednesday. It was Friday, but we set it for Wednesday because the seller actually needed to close a little bit sooner. So I was on the phone with the title company and going back and forth between the seller and the buyer. We have another closing next week, and I was backlogged a little bit, handling just different issues that popped up between the buyer and the seller and the real estate agent. You got to remember, on a lot of these creative deals that we're doing, there is the real estate agent, the listing agent. There is my JV partner. There is JV partner is Magic. Shout out to Magic. He's awesome. He's a real estate agent in Houston. So there's the listing agent. There's the JV partner. There's the seller. Then there's me. Then there's the TC team. There's the title company. And then there's the buyer. There's 7 different parties. 7 different parties. And I'm a specific party in the transaction. The TC team is a separate party, and there's more than one person on the TC team. The title company is a separate party. There's more than one person on the title team. So there's a lot of people working on each of our specific transactions. Creative finance is awesome. There's just a lot of people sometimes who are involved when you go after the direct to agent model. There's agents, there's sellers, of course. Sometimes the brokers come in and they have questions for us. So there's always something. Luis says, all good, bro. Thank you so much, Luis. Time to relax says, let's go. I love it. It's time to go. It's time to actually call some agents, call some sellers. Let's get this show on the road. I'm actually going to be calling the newest direct-to-seller leads that we just got here in our system. I know Faisal actually has a lot of leads for us to call. Thanks for giving a glimpse into the sub-2 and creative finance life. Yeah, you're welcome, Luis. You're welcome. I got this docket. I'm just going to dock this thing too. You know what I need in my life? I need some electrolytes. So I think I'm going to get some right after I dock this thing to the clamp. I think it's balanced. All right. I gotta balance this every time I use this thing. It's actually really cool. Okay, cool. Perfect. David says, here we go. What's up, David? All right. I'm working with Allison Gustav. I think her last name is Gustafsen. Allison Gustafsen. Sorry, Allison, if I butchered your name. She just sent me a text. She said, thank you. When you called, I was on a call. I couldn't get off. We're doing a deal with Pace Morby. And so Allison is Pace's TC. She's awesome. She's absolutely incredible. She and Molly have been really, really working with us on this very specific deal. A lot of moving parts, a lot of little different things. So Allison just got back to me. I was on the phone. I was trying to give her a call before I joined this stream. So that's great. Hi, Munif. Hi, Vanessa. Time to relax says, I can't wait to do my first draft. Time to relax. Who are you? What's your name? I don't know. I don't see your name. I'd love to know who you are and put a name to a face. That'd be really, really cool. I'd love to help you with your raps too. Louis says, what do you use to create the list? Privy, prop, stream, batch leads, or do you use multiple? I actually really don't, generate a lot of these lists. A lot of my JV partners are really the guys who pull the lists. That's what Luis, man, I cannot. I'm going to try though. Mejia, it's either Mejia or Mejia if it's a silent J. So it's either Luis Mejia or Luis Mejia Uriostegui. Sorry, Luis. I butchered that. Yep, Molly told us about it last week on Pace Studies. Oh, you were on there, Luis? That's cool. Yeah, I was on there too. That's awesome. Luis says second one. That's my name. I love it. I love it. Yo, what's up, Derek? Derek, we're doing another rap, bro. We got another rap we're doing. That's awesome. Let me call some sellers. Derek and I, we closed on 2 raps actually. Derek is captain closer. I'm captain assistant. Derek, we just closed on our second rap together, brother. That's awesome, man. I think we closed like yesterday. So I should check the bank account to see if we got paid. I haven't even checked. I've been so busy. But that's awesome, man. We found a rap buyer thanks to Derek. Derek is the rap buyer whisperer. So Derek is really, really good at finding rap buyers. Really, really good. One of the best, actually, in my opinion. So we JV'd on that deal together. Yes, I haven't heard from Carly. I think Carly moved into the house. She's a rap buyer. I think I told her it'd be okay if she sent. Let me just call Carly now, actually. Let me just call Carly, actually. Because I need to actually know if she paid.
Moondog Nurseries is
Jeanette says, how do we send you leads? I'm going to make a form, like a web form for sending you leads. That's a really good question, Jeanette. Yeah, definitely. We definitely have a person to help us dispo raps, whether that person is Derek Barton, whether it's one of our brokers. We have different people to help us dispo our raps for sure. I think she might be busy. Oh, she's traveling, I think. So she might be traveling right now. Yeah, I think she's traveling. We'll follow up with her later. Now, I'd rather call these Podio leads that we have. We've got some low equity Podio leads. I want to just call these guys. Would you share a contact or do I have to look for them? It just depends where you're rapping. It just depends if I'm rapping in the same market. Whether or not I can help you, it really just depends on the market it's in. Okay, I think if I go to browse, if I go to the workspace, if I go here to leads, yeah, Houston, you have to reach out to Chime Prakash for those contacts. I don't really wrap those in Houston. Okay, views. Okay, boom, low equity. Boom. Okay, wow, we have 58 leads here. Wow, that's awesome. Derek says that boots on the ground and legwork is needed to find buyers. Agents that listed on the MLS can help as well. That is correct. All right, I got my Podio up here. Pull up Podio on my screen. Let's call these sellers that have no equity. Oh, my this like gyropod has a mind of its own. Doesn't want to listen to me. Cool. All right. That should work. I'm going to pull up these leads on my computer. And let's get calling this list. Let me call Ryan or Katie.
Hi.
Hi, is this Katie?
This is she.
Hi, Katie. This is Munif. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm calling to follow up. I think you spoke to someone on my team, maybe about selling your property on Katie Court.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is that still for sale or is that off the table? Okay. Alrighty. Do you have a minute to just chat about this?
Yeah. I told the lady who called me earlier, she said y'all have a couple of different options. And the only option we would be interested in is a cash sale. We're not interested in assuming the loan or anything.
Oh, okay. So you already spoke to somebody from my team, and
yeah, they called me and said that y'all would be reaching out. So, I told her that when I spoke to her. So.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. So yeah, I'm looking at the notes here. It says she reached out, but did she explain what we do and how we buy?
She did.
Okay, so you're not interested in going that way. That totally makes sense. Curious before I kind of take you off our list here. How's the market been for your property?
How's the market in this area?
Yeah. How's that been? I see it's been listed for almost 2 months now.
Well, the market's pretty good. We're just at a little higher price point. It's a little slower movement in the market right now, but the market itself is pretty good.
Oh, okay. So you think the next maybe 30 to 60 days? Do you think something might happen? You might find a buyer for this.
I think so. We've had some really good feedback from some buyers. Just haven't found the right one yet. Just in that price range with interest rates being as high as they are, it's just a little slower moving.
Yeah, it's a little slower, but you know what? I think you might be able to find a buyer in the next 30 to 60 days at that price point. I don't think you're going to have an issue. This house is beautiful. Alrighty. So, what I'll do is, would you be opposed if I check back in with you maybe 30 to 60 days just to see if this house sold?
Yeah, you can check back in with me, but even then, we won't be interested in doing the loan.
No, of course not. But sometimes things change and people sometimes reconsider. Not saying you will. I'm just saying sometimes people.
Yeah, you were more than welcome to reach back out.
Sure. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. So I'm curious to who pitched terms. Because is it a VA that pitched terms? Because it's Who pitched terms? I like to pitch terms a very specific way. We'll call Feist. Maybe he pitched terms. Hey, I'm on stream. I'm calling your leads. Question: if you are in front of a computer, this might be helpful to you. It might be. I'm not sure if it will be. So this lead, if you can pull up Gardner, Katie Gardner. It's like the first lead. Seller, yeah.
Spell it?
Huh?
Can you spell it?
Yeah, Gardner. So it's like if you're in a garden, and if you like they must Ryan's family must have been gardeners.
I have a lot of Gardner.
You have Katie and Ryan. Can I text you the address? I don't want to just.
Yeah, no. Always copy paste me the link.
Okay, cool. Let me just actually send you the Podia link, and this is just out of curiosity because somebody basically, and I want to know if it's you, because if it's you or somebody super good on your team did this fine, but somebody had already explained terms, and I'm curious if that's part of your process for these. Or is that what you're asking is it a VA? Is it a lead manager? Are you asking them to pitch creative? Or would you prefer a closer?
Yeah, so this one came from Cold Call.
Okay, great. Okay, so this can, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I really don't know. It doesn't say any stuff on it.
Yeah, this might be a review. Maybe, I don't know if you guys do that, like audit or review, because basically she was super close. I mean, I think terms could help her, but somebody on our team had already pitched creative finance to her.
I don't think because this lead just came in.
Yes. So it'd be interesting to hear the call. So because the note says, hey, they want to sell it, they'll relocate to a different city. They're not interested in anything creative, just a regular sales or cash offer. So she was very like, hey, I don't want to do creative, right? So I'm curious if she said, hey, I talked to somebody from your team. I already told them I didn't want to do creative. I'm curious if, they tried to pitch it, or she was just like been getting creative offers and was like, oh,
that's more likely.
Okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense. That's probably more likely because your cold callers are probably not.
It's like timing with these people.
Yeah. It's not going to move. So if they actually want to sell, they'll probably have to do creative.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Alrighty. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, bye. Let me make sure. Yep, I'm on full. Does Podio make an iPhone app? Are you looking at a website on Safari? I'm using Google Chrome, and I have Podio on my phone. Yeah, there's a Podio iPhone app. Yep. Did you go through all the videos in the vault when you first started? The answer is absolutely not. I did not have time to go through all the videos on the vault. I just didn't. Who are you asking that to time? I don't understand, Derek, what your question is. Who are you asking that? Oh, Faisal, my cousin. He's it's his leads. I'm calling his leads. So he generated these leads for me to call. So I want to make sure he's his processes. If I see something, I'll just call him and like talk to him about it. Okay, so I'm just gonna say follow up. Called follow up in 30 to 60 days. Not interested in creative. I'm going to put this as a cold follow-up. All right, let's go to the next one. Where is the no equity list? Here we go. Low equity list. Perfect. Okay, here. Let me call this next person. It's in Arizona. 2-bed, 2-bath. It's a tiny little home. Excuse me.
Hello.
Hi, Margaret.
Yes.
This is Munif. How are you today? So, hey, I think somebody on my team called you about maybe if you're still interested in selling your property on Sullivan Avenue.
Uh-huh.
Is that something that's still for sale or selling off the table?
No, I'm trying to sell it.
Okay. Do you have a couple minutes to talk about the deal?
Yes.
Excuse me, my allergies are a little bad today. I apologize. Alrighty. I'm pulling it up on Zillow. I see you've got it listed for sale. 1007 West Sullivan. Oh wow, it's a beautiful home.
I know. Nobody wants to buy it. I can't believe the market's so shitty.
Yeah, the market is shitty. I mean, I think I want to buy it. I'm an investor. We're with Tower Home Offers, and we buy properties like this. The challenge is the market is a little bit, it's a little tumultuous. It's with the interest rates. That's been the biggest challenge with us.
Yeah.
Are you living in the house right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know what we might rent this out for? If we were to
What-
buy
what?
it, if we were to buy this, do you know what we might rent this out for?
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm gonna pull that up. While I do, what's got you thinking of selling this?
I work in Tucson, and
Oh no!
Yeah, I drive 140 miles round trip every time I have to go to work.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's so sucky.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, when I moved here, I did not work in Tucson.
How long have you been commuting like that?
Let's see, what semester is it? Yeah, about almost a year.
Get out of town!
Yeah, just under a year.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so,
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough.
yeah.
I see.
Well,
Okay,
it is
well,
what it is until I can sell my house.
right. Did you? What do you think's making it difficult to sell?
I think it's the interest rates.
Yeah.
And my realtor said that the market in Coolidge isn't that great right now.
It really isn't. It's difficult, especially because the interest rates are so high for homeowners. They're being pickier, and they're actually trying to buy houses or condos for less money, so their payments they don't skyrocket. And for us investors, stuff we could buy at 3% interest rate, it's not the same price point at 7 or 8% interest rate because our payments are so high. We don't even make money if we even rent it out.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But there might be something we might be able to do that might it might be a little bit out of the box. Has anybody called you or your agent and used any of the buzzwords flying out there like creative finance or subject to?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So we're buying a lot of properties using creative finance. And we've had to pivot a little bit because, a lot of homeowners who bought maybe 1 year ago or 2 years ago when the market was doing really well, that they wanted to sell their properties, these houses, they lost value because the interest rates almost tripled in the last year. And we've had to make some adjustments to help out our sellers and our buyers. And one thing we've noticed is, okay, well, if we can't buy this or afford to buy this at 7 or 8% interest rate, because we'll lose sometimes $1,000 a month just in interest, why not just leave the existing loan in place?
And do what?
Well, why get a new loan to pay off an existing loan when the existing loan might actually make sense for us to just leave? So, for example, Margaret, on this property, when did you buy this property?
2 years ago.
What interest rate did you get?
Oh, I don't remember.
Um,
I could try and find paperwork, but
Right. So what we've been doing a lot is saying, hey, let's not pay off this loan that is probably better than a new loan. If we were to get a new loan today, that's going to be about maybe 7 or 8% interest rate. Let's just leave this loan in place and figure out where you need to be at, where, your agent gets paid and, what you need net to you. And then we will be responsible on making those loan payments.
well, no, I have to sell my house in order to buy a new one. Like I have to get rid of that debt.
That is a actual misconception. It's not true. Because we actually do buy the house and we are now responsible for the debt, you can actually get this loan out of your debt to income if we, actually service this loan. So selling to us where we don't pay off the loan all at once does not disqualify you from being able to buy another house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this kind of transaction it came up a lot in the 80s. I don't know if you're aware, but in the 80s, the interest rates were in the double digits. So what a lot of people were doing were they were saying, hey, let's not get this 12% interest rate loan to pay off a 5% interest rate loan. Let's just leave the 5% interest rate loan in place. We'll buy the house subject to the existing loan.
Oh, I get it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
This is a
Almost like I'm
subject
signing
to.
it over to you.
Exactly. We will not pay it off. And that way we can say, okay, you've got a good interest rate. If the banks are giving that interest rate today, we'd buy it in a heartbeat, but they're not. It's unfortunate, but they're not. So why pay it off? Why pay off that loan with a new loan and everybody loses money? Why not leave that loan in place, see what you need to move out of here and not drive 70 miles each way to Tucson, get your agent paid who had this listed for a while, and get this deal done.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
Would that be helpful if we were to actually maybe just open the door to that conversation?
Yeah, I have. Let me discuss that with
Of course.
someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense to me.
Of course.
I understand what you're saying.
Of course. Right now, we're just planting a seed to maybe just open the door to a future conversation. I see here, I think your agent is Michael.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Maybe, when you can, get on the phone call with, Michael, say, hey, I talked to an investor. He buys properties like this. I buy 4 or 5 a month all over Arizona. He buys properties like this subject to, and he actually, is able to pay the listing agent their fee. He's able to take over the mortgage payments and actually buy my house by leaving the existing debt intact. And there's a good chance Michael's actually familiar with Subject 2. It's pretty popular in Arizona.
And then would you pay me the difference? Like if I said, okay, I want you to pay me $314,000, you'd pay me the difference of what's left on the loan versus what I want?
If
I have my down payment?
If that, I have to get into the numbers, I have to dig in, but
Yeah, I was just using that as
right, as an
like,
example, yes. So let's say, for example, we just did a deal right now. We're closing on it actually this Wednesday, actually. So tomorrow we're doing a deal where the homeowner, this is a deal in Texas, the homeowner, her name is Lisa. Lisa needs $10,000 from this sale of her home, which is the difference between what she owes and the selling price. So she needs that $10,000 to, actually make the down payment for her new home on Friday. So she's closing with us on Wednesday, and then at 11 a.m. this Friday, she's actually closing on her new home. It's a new build that she and her husband had actually put a down payment of $20,000 on a year ago. And so they need the money from this sale for that other sale. So we're actually, yes, to answer your question, yes, we would be paying you the difference depending on what that is, all at once in cash or over time. I can't tell you what that is. I don't have all the numbers. We're just having a very preliminary conversation right now.
Yeah, I understand it. Okay, well, let me think about this.
Right. I know that you've been, you've listed this for 131 days. And frankly, houses usually sell in 2 months, maybe 3 months. And this isn't selling. And, it might be important to think about, okay, what's it going to take for me to sell this? Can I get what I need out of this deal to then stop having to drive 140 miles every single day?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely think about that.
Okay, cool. Would it be helpful if you and I scheduled maybe just another touch base sometime later this week?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, what's a good day for you?
Let's see, today's Tuesday. And we're Friday. How about Monday? Does next Monday work?
Yeah, next Monday is perfectly fine. Let me just open up my calendar. Right now it is 2:40 p.m. Correct?
That's fine. Oh yeah.
Would 2:00 work Monday for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should work for me.
And is this a good number to call you back at?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Margaret, my name is Munif. I'll call you back 2:00 local time on Monday, June 26th.
Okay, that sounds great.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love sub-2 deals. They're really juicy. You can make a ton of money on them. The challenge is no one's going to sign a sub-2 in one phone call, especially if they've never heard it before. So it's usually 4 or 5, sometimes more. Even if they're really, really ready, it's multiple phone calls. Just putting this in my phone. Boom. Was that helpful, guys? Was that call helpful? Oh, there's a lot of comments here. Okay. Katrina says, I just want to say these are so helpful to me. Thank you for your content. I feel as you're super relatable and you make me feel like I can actually get some deal done. Totally. You totally can get some deal done. It's no problem. Sometimes the, sellers don't cooperate and things like that. Like, that's totally fine. That's totally normal. But sometimes they do. So don't get discouraged. Don't get upset if, you get a lot of no's. It's just part of the business. Excuse me. I have some allergies. Hey, Munif, I love what you do. Thank you, McFarland. Add me to your buyers list. I'm in North Carolina. Depends on when you're buying. I don't know I don't really sell deals in North Carolina, but in Texas I do. Jade says, are these direct to agent, direct to seller? These specific ones are direct to seller. I love the energy matching. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I love it, bro. Scorch the earth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, totally. Degenerate cardboard enthusiast. I believe that's Terry. says, I love that you brought that back to driving 40 miles to and from Tucson. Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. It's horrible. Who wouldn't want to do that? Louis says, I got a buyer for you on that one when you hit up Caroline. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's sell it to Caroline all day. Lawrence says, this is fire. Carolina says, all day long. Heck yeah. And I love how you brought in the bank as the common enemy by saying only the banks make money from the transaction if you guys went the traditional route. Yeah, it's true. I mean, these banks are really screwing us in interest. Matt says, I made a Twitch just for Munif. You hear that, Twitch? You got to make one of your sponsors, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. Katarina says, yes, this was helpful. Louis says, yeah, it was helpful to overcome those objections. Jeanette says, are you able to call the seller while it's still listed? I just did. I mean, I didn't explode. So I guess you can call sellers while property is listed. You are so smooth with it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Very helpful. Thank you. Bro, the way that conversation went, amazing. Great tonality. Thank you. I appreciate that, McFarlane. You have calm, cool, collected attitude. Thanks. You guys are really, really, really sweet. Trust me, I'm not all that great. I'm getting better. I'm very rusty. I'm trying to just get back into the swing of things with the, competition coming up. There's a Closers Olympics competition coming up. I'm practicing for that. If you want to support me, boom, here's the URL, closersolympics.com/Munif. I am competing here for this competition. Let me see if I can share screen and show you the boom. So you can get your early bird tickets. They're like really cheap. Just put in your first name, last name, phone number, email. I'm going to be competing July 29th and 30th. And I think there's like one more reel. When I close doors, RJ Bates. That's me.
This is a competition. Somebody's going home with the top closer title belt.
If I did 189, would you have to talk to her, or could you agree to that? All right, let's do 189.9 then.
If I gave you 31.
Oh, look at me. That's me. So I was a part of this competition. That was like day one. That's me. My previous background was I was living in a condo in Arlington, Virginia, and my screen, my home theater, my janky home theater screen in my bedroom. This was like my bedroom home office. I actually have a home office now. So I've upgraded in my office and in my mustache. So that was me. I won second place the first time. I'm going for the belt this time. So ton of opportunity here. There's awesome judges. There's an awesome lineup. Look at the lineup. It's going to be great. We're all competing for that spot. So if you guys want to grab your tickets, do it at that code. closersolympics.com/Munif if you guys want to go ahead and support me. Jade said, I got my ticket. Thank you, Jade. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Louis says, Closers Olympics, let's go. You and Jen got this. Thank you. Can you do this calls if you have a real estate license? Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. Katrina says, it's true. If Pace believes in you, you should too. I can see it. Sometimes people can't see things in themselves that others do. Thank you. That was definitely the case for the first time we did it. I did not want to compete in the event, and Pace actually encouraged me to by forcing me to compete by betting $10,000 that either me or Dan Quijano would win the top three in the event. So he really forced us to step up. So he's also got another bet. I think he bet $5,000 this year that one of us would win. Degenerate says, I never saw you without a mustache before. Thank you. Yeah. Carolina says babyface. Thanks. I do look young. He said you hung up. I definitely hung up on my first real play ever. Link says 404 not found. Man, that's really annoying. Closersolympics.com/Munif. It's working for me. Try this. If that link 404, you're having a 404 error. This is more annoying, but try that. It's like closersolympics.com/2023 question mark AM underscore ID. And then my ID is Munif973. That should work. 1,000%. I put it in my browser. That should work. I wish there was an easy way I could send it to you. But try that. That helps me. That supports me because that shows how many people I actually sign on. So that really helps me out a lot. Oh, Luis says that second one worked. Okay, thank you, Luis. Alex Salazar is here, man. What's up, Alex? So nice to see you. I'm calling sellers live, so let's do more. Let me call more sellers. That headset back there is for closers only. Yes, that headset right there is Steven Morales' recommended headset. You'll know if you did deals or you were part of Steve Morales' course, you'll know. All right, let's see. All right, let's make some more calls. I'm pulling up their house. Been on Zillow for a while. Let's call Brecken. Well, first number doesn't work. Let's try the second number.
Hello?
Hi, Heather.
Yes?
Hi, this is Munif. How are you today?
Good?
This is Munif. I'm calling about your property on Blaze Street. Is that still something you're looking to sell?
Yes?
Alrighty, awesome. I think you talked to somebody on my team about that property. My name is Munif. I'm calling from 360 Home Offers. I think you spoke with one of my partners about maybe selling that house.
My husband may have.
Oh, okay, got it. Are you both on the deed, or is this something that
No,
he's?
we're both on the team.
Oh, okay. So you're both on the deed. Got it. Awesome. I see that you have it listed here on Zillow. I'm just pulling this up. Forgive me.
Yeah, it's currently on the market.
Okay. Oh wow, it's a beautiful home. I just pulled it up. Wow, it was just recently built here in 2018. Alrighty. Okay, got it. Motivated sellers bring us an offer. Okay, you got this up listed with an agent. I see that it's been listed over 100 days. Why do you think it's not selling?
I don't know.
Has your realtor given you any feedback about this property?
I mean, yes, I mean,
I'm trying to figure out if there's any way we could maybe buy this from you in a way that makes sense for you and us. Um, and in order to do that, I just sometimes have to ask, certain questions, to figure out what's really important to you about selling this property. So, I see this has been listed for over 100 days. I mean, is this something, you guys want to sell?
I mean, ideally, yes.
Okay. So what's the ideal sale look like for you?
Well, we bought it a year ago and in the worst of the market, so we have no equity.
Oh, I see.
We actually have negative equity at the current list price, so.
I see. So when you say you're at negative equity, does that mean that you have to actually bring money to sell this house?
Yes.
And is that something that you're okay with doing?
To an extent.
I see. I see the situation. Okay. So what's got you wanting to bring money to the table to sell your house? I mean, that's just something that, most people would just, they would just wait.
Commute.
Commute? Okay. So,
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess so that you don't waste my time and I don't waste yours. I mean, if you're looking to purchase the house for way less than we currently have it listed, then we're not interested.
Well, I'm not interested in buying it for way less than you have listed. There's a possibility I might be able to. I don't want to make you any promises, but I might be able to buy this house where you don't bring any money to the closing table.
And that involves like outright purchasing it, not a subject to purchase.
Okay, so has anyone called you? Any knuckleheads out there called you and talked about something like subject to?
Had 4 subject to offers that I've declined.
Oh, yeah. What were they saying?
I'm not interested in that.
Okay, alrighty. And may I ask why?
I don't want to assume that liability.
Got it. Okay, so basically the fact that there's this liability if somebody else comes in and you leave your loan out in your name and they just stop paying, now you're on the hook because that's your credit score, it's not theirs. And now you've got this huge liability, this 400,000 plus liability that's outstanding that you're on the hook for.
Correct.
Okay, got it. And that just doesn't interest you because it's just a huge liability.
I don't need to sell the house. I would like to sell the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not,
right.
I am not.
You're not desperate.
I can afford the house.
Right.
I don't need to get rid of it. I want to get rid of it.
Right.
So that is not an avenue that interests me at all.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense when you say it like that.
So if that's what if you're in that line of business, then we can stop wasting each other's time right now.
No, that makes total sense. I do it all. I buy houses cash. I buy houses subject to. I buy houses seller finance. I do it all. And that's why I ask these questions is, okay, what do you need? What's your bottom line? What do you need to make this work? And so you've been very helpful. I really appreciate you. What I'm thinking here is, I think the best buyer for you right now is, a homeowner who's going to go ahead and qualify. They're going to go qualify for a loan. That person, somebody who wants to move into this house, I think they're probably going to be the best fit for you because they're going to qualify for a new loan at a high interest rate, but they'll pay off your old loan and you won't have that liability, outstanding. So I think that would be the best. How long are you willing to wait before you just maybe take this listing down?
Another month or 2.
Okay. Would it be helpful if I called back in maybe a month or 2 just to see how things are going?
Sure.
Alrighty. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that. Alrighty.
No problem.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. So I did not want to pitch sub 2. So these other 4 sub 2 offers, they completely like destroyed the credibility of sub 2. So, you know, Alex says tag Papa Saza so you can see you actually doing something. My dad, you must have seen my reel. My dad has no idea what I do, and he thinks I do nothing all day. That's really funny. That is an advanced level humor right there, Alex. So you only get that deal. You only understand that joke if you watch and follow me on Instagram. Okay, Brandon says that is right for sub 2. I like the question pattern going, to dig a little bit deeper. Great job pulling the real reason. Yeah, that's hard. I got to learn a little bit from Jeff Smith. I think he does a little bit better than me. I'm trying to figure out how to ask the right questions to get the real motivation, especially when somebody just doesn't want to give me anything. So that's hard. I'm tweaking my questions and my script a little bit. If you notice, I'm not using any scripts this week because I want to just really figure out what's going on. What's the situation? Feisty one, but wow, Munif stays so calm and cool. He's so good. Thank you. Appreciate that. How much of a hassle is this long commute affecting her? I actually think that's a really good question. I just feel like I didn't build the rapport correctly enough to just ask her that straight up because I feel like I think that's a good question. I think I should have asked that at the right time. So I think that's something to ask when I follow up in 30 days and I follow up in another 30 days because I think she lost a lot of credibility with these subject 2 guys and I don't think they really know what they're doing because like the way I bring it up when someone's like I don't want to take the liability, it's like okay, hold on real quick. Hypothetical. I get it. You don't want a loan in your name outstanding to some stranger. I get it. And I'm not asking you to. I just want you to think about a hypothetical situation. You need a certain amount of buy-in and trust from your client or your seller to actually have them hypothesize this. Say it wasn't a stranger. Say it was a legitimate investment firm. Say it's actually the company that Warren Buffett owns. You know Warren Buffett. You know his company's not going bankrupt. Richest guy, richest investor on the planet. Warren Buffett's real estate company. They say, hey, we see this as a good opportunity for a subject to acquisition for us, for our firm. We're liquid. Right now, any given moment, we're liquid $2 million. We can show you proof of funds, bank account statement. For any reason, something goes sideways, we'll just pay off the loan. Guaranteed, no problem. Would you have more trust in that than just some stranger you met off the internet? And when they think about it, they go, well, yeah, I probably would trust, Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, their company to not, default on this. It's like, great. They've got a certain level of credibility. So it's not the type of transaction that scares you. It's doing this kind of transaction with somebody who's not credible. If I was just as credible, if my company was just as credible where it could show you settlement statements, could show you our portfolio, could show you our proof of funds, our liquidity, other sellers that we've done this with, testimonials. If we can show you that, would that open your mind to consider doing business with us? So that's really where I want to go once I have a little bit more rapport and they have a little bit more pain. Terry says, there is pain, but she doesn't have much to gain since she's not desperate to sell it. I think she is, but she doesn't trust you yet to admit that. I totally agree. And that's really where I have to come in is this like, hey, how's it going? Look, I'm not pressuring you. I don't think you should. I wouldn't either with my primary. I get it. Right? But what if I call her on the right day where she got rear-ended or something on traffic, God forbid, or, there's just a major hassle with her commute. She's late for work. She was late to pick up her kids from soccer because her commute was so bad. So this is a follow-up. So that's good. I really like this lead. This is definitely a lead. Just writing in the notes. I'm gonna add this to cold follow up. Boom. Let's keep calling. I'm going on a camping trip. Oh yeah, no stream Friday. Saturday, Sunday, I'm going camping. So I gotta like buy like my camping gear. I think I have a ton of camping gear, but I'm like going camping for the weekend in Shenandoah. So we're gonna get some kayaks and some canoes, and we're gonna go camp. Alrighty. So I'll be out of pocket Friday through Sunday. Here's another one in Georgetown, Texas. I don't even know where this is. Georgetown, Texas. It's a 4-2. Yeah, I think this is it. I don't even know where Georgetown is. Oh, it's North Austin. Okay. Cool.
Your call has been forwarded.
Hello?
Hi, Brian.
Yes.
Hey, this is Munif. How are you today?
I'm good. Who is this?
This is Munif. I'm calling about your property on San Miniato.
Miniato?
Yeah, Miniato. Is that something y'all are still looking to sell, or is that off the table?
Are you with what's this gentleman that called me yesterday, or lady called me yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's still in the market.
Oh, okay, great. Do you have a couple minutes to just chat about this house?
Sure.
Cool. So yeah, my name is Munif. I'm with 360 Home Offers. I think you talked to one of our reps yesterday. So what's going on? I don't see the house listed. What's going on?
It's been in the market a couple months. We took it off the market to do a couple of things inside the house, and then it should be back on the market within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
There was a little bit of water leakage. A sink backed up, and from the AC condensate line, that it flowed in it, so it did a little bit of sheetrock damage. We just happened to get the sheetrock replaced.
Got it.
So we just pulled it off the market real quick and do that, and then we'll get it back on.
Already.
But yeah, we're relocating out of state, and so we're selling the home.
Got it.
That's it. So.
Ready. And has there been some challenges? I see it's been listed. I think maybe I'm wrong. It seems like it's been listed a couple times, or just
no, it's been listed once.
Okay.
We bought the house. We bought the house a year and a half ago.
Cool.
And then we are relocating out of state, so we're selling it.
I see.
And it's been on market for a couple of months now.
I see. And how's that been going?
Market's changing a little bit, so there's more inventory on the market right now. So we don't have any offers.
Alrighty. Okay. And so I'm looking at this house. It's a beautiful house. I'm trying to pull up some photos from your previous listing.
From like a week ago.
Yeah. They take them down.
We redid all the flooring and replaced the fence and did some cosmetic stuff when we bought it.
Got it. And so you just bought it, a year and a half ago. I see it.
Right.
I see it here on the public record. It seems like it sold in September. I think you bought it then.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and so what we're seeing, and just correct me if I'm assuming wrong, what we're seeing in Austin right now, because we buy deals here and in San Antonio, but we buy a lot in Austin, is the folks who bought properties about a year and a half ago, they kind of bought it like really at the height of the market. And since then, the market's really cooled off and interest rates went up. I'm sure you've been paying attention to the news, and
Right.
your agent probably told you. And with the interest rates being higher, houses are listing, and a lot of folks are having to cut, their listing price, constantly cut it, and
Right.
that's really challenging. Has that been an obstacle for you since you bought it so recently?
From a buyer's perspective, yeah, that's probably been the case. I think, interest rates, I'm familiar with the market. And so
Right.
I think interest rates has cooled off the market a little bit. Austin was stupid crazy there for about 2 years with real estate. People were buying houses sight unseen and all that. And, that's kind of slowed down a little bit. Interest rates have kind of helped with that. Although the forecast is, it's kind of weird. Williamson County is showing a forecast still of like 9% growth or appreciation over the next 12 months. So it's cooled off, but it's not cold.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What we think we're happening right now is just there's a lot more inventory for people to go look at, and other people are selling their homes, and so. We don't. We're not desperate to sell. We're not even living there. We have we're in our house in New Mexico right now.
Oh, cool.
So we're
right on.
We're kind of letting it sit unoccupied. It's for sale and we can close at any time.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not
of course
at a point where we're desperate by any means.
Righty. That totally makes sense. And I know, I'm assuming you have a mortgage that is just kind of, you're paying as it just kind of sits empty.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
No problem. So, what we've done in the past, and I'm just going to plant this seed for something for you to think about. I got to jump off here soon. I'm just going to plant a seed for you to think about, because ideally you list it back on, someone falls in love with the house and they pay full asking price. That's the best situation, the ideal scenario for you.
Right.
And they go and get this loan at 7.5% interest rate. Their payments are going to be way higher than your payments, but they love the house and they do it, and they say, you know what, we'll do it. And that's the best ideal case. Sometimes sellers like a fallback option that might not be ideal, but it gets the job done. What we've been doing in this crazy Austin market, when sellers bought maybe at the height and then they decide to sell, and let's say they maybe have no equity. Sometimes sellers have to, I just got off the phone with this lady, very sweet lady. Her name is Catherine. She said she'll actually spend money to sell her house. She's okay with writing a check of about $15,000 to sell her house because she's got this huge commute. She relocated. It's terrible. What I told her, I said, Catherine, why spend $15,000 to sell your house to somebody who's going to get a new loan to pay 7.5% interest rate to pay off your old loan? I mean, you're losing money. I'm losing money. The new house won't cash flow. The new loan won't cash flow. Why not this? How about you don't spend money to sell your house? Instead, I'll put money in your pocket and we just leave the old loan in place.
So, yeah, I mean, look, I know there's a lot of creative programs going around right now. I've not heard of one yet that really has been attractive to me, but I'm not in a situation where I have to.
Right, totally.
So I'm definitely willing to listen to your concepts. I had one. I talked to a lady a week ago where it was like, all right, they'll pay me 70% of appraised value now, and then they'll charge me 1% carrying costs, and at close, they'll pay me the rest of the agreed upon sales price, plus, they'll take like a 5% fee. I mean, I've heard all these crazy things.
That's crazy, yeah.
Right now, based on what I have in the house, I have equity in the house. It doesn't make sense for me to do that.
I totally agree.
So I'm not sure how, and I don't think my loan is assumable, so I'm not exactly sure what your program is.
Right. So yeah, and look, I don't think you should, because you got to give it a good shot on the market first, right? Because you made some repairs, give it a shot. I mean, you don't need to sell. You're not hurting. You already moved. The house is sitting empty. I know you're paying the mortgage, but it sounds, I'm assuming that it's fine for, a few months at least to cover both mortgages. So give it some time, see what you get, right? Because it doesn't make sense for anybody to do something creative without trying the traditional first, in my opinion. But then if it's now, hey, look, the market's not, it's not going the right way. It's now I got the second mortgage. Man, do I got to get a tenant in here? Do I want to manage a tenant? Is that something I want to do? Or is there a way I can just offload this property with these guys that will take over my mortgage payments and maybe make payments to me on my equity? That's a conversation for another day. It's very premature to have that conversation now. Your loan doesn't have to be assumable. We wouldn't even qualify to assume your loan in the first place because we're an investment company. Loan assumptions are for people who want to live in the house. They're not for investment companies. So we don't do loan assumptions. What we do is we do subject to. So we go through the title company. We say, hey, we're not changing this mortgage. It's going to leave it intact. We're going to use our loan servicer to make the mortgage payments, and we're just going to pay the bank every month. They're going to be happy to get paid every month. And depending on your equity, we'll figure that out, later. I think it's very premature to have that conversation right now. I prefer a buyer just buy it outright and write you a check for your equity. But it's sometimes helpful for maybe 1 out of 10 sellers I talk to have a second option. And those are the ones we end up buying.
Hey, look, I'm not an expert in it. I'm not a novice at it. We're moving to Tennessee from our New Mexico house, and I just wrote a contract myself on the New Mexico house to an investor. I got a halfway amount of knowledge, so I'm looking for whatever you want to propose to me. If it's not today, it'd be 2 months from now. Just lay it out on the line for me and tell me what it is, and I kind of work through the numbers and see if it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I wouldn't want to make an offer yet because it would be a little. I think it would be a little premature for you to even consider something right now. But
that means insulting, right?
No. I mean, we can do it. I mean, look, if you were my brother or my cousin, and you're like, hey, I want to sell this house for my asking price, what I had it listed. I would tell you, sure, I might be able to match it and make payments to you on your equity, make a down payment to you, and then payments on your equity, and pay your mortgage every month. I could do that, but wouldn't you rather receive all of your money at once?
Oh yeah, there's time value money. I get it.
Right? But if you're okay with that, if you're like, hey, I don't want to list this, I don't want to deal with the hassle, I don't want a million walkthroughs, I just found somebody who's going to be direct, I'm not going to have to pay, commissions and things like that. I want an easy sale, and I don't know, I wasn't going to put my money in the stock market anyways, because the stock market's crap and it was going to sit in the bank anyways.
That's the truth right there. Yep.
So, I might be cool with receiving 3% interest on my equity and actually get paid interest and make interest on my equity. Maybe you and I can talk, because as long as I can rent it out and cash flow, I'm okay with making the mortgage payment and making a second payment to you on your equity.
Right. Yep. I get that.
That makes
starting
sense.
to kind of put it together there. Yeah, I see where you're going with it.
Because me making your loan payment and then paying you off the top every month is still cheaper than 8.5% interest.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I understand.
it's something to think about. I mean, if you really want me to make you an offer, I'm happy to. I would legitimately need a mortgage statement from you, because in these types of transactions, I am now going to be responsible for fulfilling the obligation of that mortgage payment every month. So I actually have to see the statement. So if you want to send that over and you are serious, you're like, hey, I would actually consider this kind of offer, let's do it. But if you are actually more leaning toward, hey, I'm just going to list it, see what I get, I recommend you doing that first.
I think the best thing to do is let me see how it goes. A couple more months on the market.
Yeah.
And then either call me back or send me your contact information.
Sure, right on, man.
Okay, go from there.
All right, yeah, let's give it a good shot at the market. I think that's best. I agree with you. All righty, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. I like that call. That's like more my style, because that's the truth. Like, I didn't BS this guy, and I like them knowing what they're getting into. Like, at the end of the day, I'm telling him I'm probably not a good fit, probably not his buyer. Go find a buyer. If he can't, and he comes back to me, he's way more likely to do the deal with me on my terms. So like, it gives me leverage for a future negotiation, which is, helpful to me. How much equity does he have? How much does he need to come out of pocket? I did not want to get into those numbers. I wanted him to be attracted to the idea of it. I wanted him to like the idea of it instead of getting into all the numbers. How much does he have to pay in fees from the spread if he sells at his price? He gets, I don't know. I think he gets, he's going to list it, so he probably has agent fees. So this is definitely, what was this? Is this Kevin? I think this was, oh, this is not Kevin. This is, I just called Brian. Cool. Dr. Brian, he liked the idea of creative finance. He's got a lot of equity according to him. Maybe he made a large down payment. Nice guy. Wants to give the market a shot. Call him back in 30 days to check in with him and see how he's doing. Alrighty, and then I'll make this a. Oh, it's technically interested. He's interested. So follow up date. Boom. Just a warm lead. Kevin, 40 days on Zillow. He bought a new house, listed for $345. Oh man, price cuts. There was a pending sale that didn't go through. It's a 2-2 on Peoria. Peoria? I think it's pronounced Peoria. Kevin's like, we need to bring in that fire. Yeah. We need voice to text. Would you ever pitch short-term rental or midterm rental arbitrage? No, I want to own. I want to own the house. I don't want them to own the house. I want to own the house. I missed that call. Must have been fire. Thank you, Jermaine. Okay, let's make a phone call. Let's make the next one.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
Yeah, this is it.
Hey, Kevin. This is Munif. How are you, man?
Who?
This is Munif. I'm calling about your property on North 88th Drive.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right now, I'm kind of tied up right now, man.
Oh, yeah. No problem. When can I call you back?
Probably tomorrow morning. I have people over here for a little meeting that I got going on.
Awesome. Right on. Yeah.
Could you give me a call sometime in the morning? Sometime I'll be available.
So, would it help if you and me set, a specific time? Because it might be difficult to randomly, check in.
Between 10:30.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up my calendar real quick.
Well, whenever available for you.
Yeah, 10:30. Would 11 actually be okay?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Alrighty. Okay, great, perfect. I'll give you a call at 11 tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Alrighty. I'm just putting these in my calendar. Okay. If it's in my calendar, I won't forget it. All right, okay. I have a closing. I hope that's going well. It's like a whole... Man, my TC is Michelle's really good. She's our agent. She let the sellers know something. They're not happy. Hi. Did you see Michelle's email and the agent response?
No, I'm seeing her right now.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So no, they're not happy because Michelle said closing. The earliest we can close is Thursday afternoon. I'm cool with that. Can I get seller side signatures Wednesday because they took Wednesday off work? Mm-hmm. That was the whole point. I think that was missed. So it's I told Kelly and I told everybody because title said, hey, closing. Yeah, we're not going to close Wednesday, but we can get we can do the notary stuff Wednesday. Yeah, So I think that was a miscommunication because Michelle said, she's not saying that. Excuse me. Could you grab me one of those electrolyte drinks? Yeah. Thanks. I'm going to reply to them. I'm going to say, closing will be later, either Thursday, but I want the sellers to sign on Wednesday, like we discussed, and have funds delivered to them by Wednesday. You need to work around the seller's schedule since time is of the essence. I will follow up with title. Okay.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you, hon. Yeah, it's fun streaming and then having like a transaction in the middle of it. Munif, I need love for a transaction coordinator in Tannersville, Philadelphia. Oh no, Pennsylvania. We do Pennsylvania, right? Yeah, so Jermaine, text me at 571-274-4087 and I'll make sure we'll take care of your transaction. No problem. Text me there. It's right there on the screen. Kevin goes, yeah, you don't want the seller to know your exit strategy. It'll be hard to anchor them at a lower price. Plus, comps are for LTR. Yeah, that's right. I really do the long-term rental comps. That is correct. I don't want them to know if I'm making a ton of money. Okay, perfect. Let me keep making calls. Actually, should I call the tile company?
Yeah, call on the stream.
I'll call them on the stream, yeah? Okay, let me call the tile company. Because there's a transaction. It's a little delicate. Seeing Sky.
Title, this is Lauren. How may I help you?
Hi, Lauren. Is it possible I can speak with Macy?
I can definitely check and see if she's available for you.
I'd love that. I'd really appreciate that.
What was your name?
Oh, it's Munif Saza. This is for Cicerone Court.
Okay, you're calling in regards to Cicero?
Yes.
Okay. Anything specific that I can?
Yeah, maybe
I can help you?
I would love. Yeah, I spoke with Jennifer, and I she helped me, and I gave her a message to give to I think Macy on this one, but it's been hard to get a hold of Macy, and I'm reading the emails, and I think there's we're playing a game of telephone right here, because the sellers are a little upset on this one. Basically, long story short, sellers. Sellers have a closing on Friday morning and they need the money in their bank account to actually buy the house. And there's a little bit of miscommunication. We thought it was cool if we closed Friday morning and they would close later that afternoon. That's not the case. They actually need the money from this sale to fund the actual transaction. So we missed that. I found out last night. I sent an email out. I'm trying to, and I apologize. This is, we screwed up here. So I personally take blame. I'm the buyer on the transaction. I didn't notice it in time. And so, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, hey, I understand closing won't happen until Thursday or Friday. I get it, right? Because Macy sent us an email. Is it possible to actually send the notary out from Wednesday to get the seller side signatures because the sellers took Wednesday off work to sign.
Okay. Give me just 1 second. Let me put you on a brief hold.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
All right. Yeah, no problem.
Adrian says, "Good seeing you at the meetup this past Saturday. How are you calling? Hey, are you calling our leads today?" No, these are not. Yeah. These are FIS's leads. I'm gonna have a special web form for your guys' leads. No problem. So yeah, I'm not today. I can put out a Google web form if you want. I can make one.
So Michelle just gave me an update. She has been emailing with Debbie back and forth, and the HUD is getting sent out today.
Yeah, that's cool.
So as long as we have that, we can disperse it. It's not a problem. As long as
I know we can disperse it. That's cool. However, I want the sellers to sign tomorrow so they feel like, you know what I mean? They're because sellers don't.
Yeah, but if the HUD is today,
Yeah.
They can definitely sign by tomorrow late, but we can even coordinate something where we go to their workplace, worst case scenario.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to. That's why I want to just jump ahead of it. And then I also want to just also do a lessons learned, because the email when Michelle's like, hey, we're not going to close Wednesday, we're going to close Thursday, Friday, I think that needs to be delivered a little bit better, because I told the agent, hey, we're going to sign Wednesday, closing will be a couple of days later. As long as they sign and get paid that day, is that cool? Does that work for them? Yes. So that's not communicated in that email, so we need to make sure, you know what I mean?
Did you communicate that?
Yeah, in the voice memo I sent to Michelle. So I just, it's always these little miscommunications that happen sometimes on the phone that can get a little dicey. That's why I want to talk to Macy on the phone. Like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do.
Okay, are you still there?
I sure am.
Okay, so Macy is on the other line right now for a different file, but I did pull the file and I'm looking at her email and I kind of got a little bit caught up. But it looks like the file is with our escrow officer for her to get the HUD and settlement statement out today.
Yep. Awesome. So that's Debbie, right?
Yeah.
Is she free? Can I talk to her? I just want to make sure me and Debbie are at least on the same page. I know Macy's busy.
Okay. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me check if Debbie's busy.
Okay. Great. It'd be helpful. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, my pleasure.
I like talking to an actual person working on the file, because I left Jennifer a message, and so Macy, should be up to speed on what we're trying to do, but I don't think she is. So we got Debbie, we got Macy, we got Jennifer, and we got this new person. She's not even Jennifer, Macy, or Debbie. She's another person. So I just want to. Exactly. Yeah. And RTCs are really good, but sometimes with these weird little timings and weird little addendums that come up, because we're going to actually release the money before closing. I don't think that's being translated properly. So it is important for buyers and investors to actually know when to step in and go, no, let me talk to all parties and just handle this specific nuanced piece of the transaction. You never ever want to, 99% of the time, you don't release funds before closing. However, there are specific exceptions where it's okay to release funds before closing. This is one of them. We have a holdback in place. We have, we're not going to pay the July mortgage if the sellers don't leave the house. We just want to make sure they have the money in their pocket so they can actually buy their next property. So this is one of those cases where it's okay for the investor to step in and say, hey, hold on, let me just come in and solve this problem.
Okay, Munif?
Yeah.
So Macy just got off the phone, so I'm going to transfer you over to her, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Sorry for the long hold.
You're great.
Trying to make sure you got to somebody, okay?
No problem. Thank you.
I'll transfer you now. This is Macy. How can I help you?
Hi, Macy. This is Munif.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. I want to start off by saying I'm so sorry. I know I put you and your team in a pickle here because we just threw in stuff at you last second. It's 1,000% on me. Sorry. You guys accommodating us. You guys accommodating us is doing a favor. It's totally on us. I'm sorry. I should have been more clear. I should have been more on top of it. I dropped the ball here. Thank you for accommodating us. And I just want to give you a little bit of context. I talked to Jennifer, but I just want to make sure you understand what we're trying to do. So we've got, we had the closing set on Friday. I understood incorrectly that I thought the sellers, would close with us and then buy their new property that same day. I was mistaken. They need the money in their bank account to actually wire out on Friday for the new house they're buying.
Okay.
And okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So, our buyer on this, she's cool with it. I talked to her. I say, hey, you got to be ready to fund this thing. She's like, no problem. Everything's cool. I understand y'all can't close tomorrow. Totally get that. Makes total sense. Thursday or Friday closing is totally fine with us. What I was trying to do is see if we can get the sellers to sign closing docs tomorrow, because they're on their side. They they actually took the day off work to sign papers. And what I was going to do was I was actually going to see if it would be possible to release the funds to them after we have their set of signatures before we actually close on the property.
Okay, so here's the problem. And I'll ask Debbie, but I doubt. Well, okay, here's the problem. So once we get an approved HUD, which is or settlement statement, and it's in line, since we just got the HOA docs to file, that's all we were waiting on. So right when we got those, I went to the escrow officer for her to draft the prelim settlement statement.
Cool.
It's in line to get drafted. So we'll most likely have that to you all tomorrow morning. The problem with it is once we get you guys to approve the settlement statement, which is on our front burner, 100%.
Right. Yeah.
But once we get the approved settlement statement, the file then goes to the attorney to draft the loan docs. To be honest with you, the attorney's out of the country. He normally requires 24 to 48 hours. He's requiring 48 hours because they're ahead of us or something. I don't even know.
Sure.
They're in Australia. So that's the problem. Like, we wouldn't mind rushing everything and honestly getting our hands slapped for you by the attorney, but there's just no way around this. But let me ask Debbie if I don't even know how that would work and how y'all would still. I don't know how that would work if that's even an option. But I understand they need the funds in their account by Friday. It would be a wire transfer, and that usually hits like the same day.
Correct.
And they can let their bank know that they should be receiving a wire, and as soon as they receive it, to release it to their account or whatever. I'm sure they have a good relationship with their bank. So that's where we're at.
Got it.
I mean, we would be willing to close and sign on Friday if we had. I don't know. Are they local? Do you know off the top of your head?
They're not in Austin. No, they're not in Austin. You guys don't have a branch in Houston, do you?
We have an attorney's office that we can use. Honestly, it's the same. If we sent a mobile notary to, it's the same price. If they sign there, or if we sent a mobile notary to them.
Got it.
So, with that being said, we could try to close Friday morning when the notary left. They'll scan the docs back to us, and since it's a sub-2, we can fund off the copies, and that's just what we'll do on this file only. So that's an option.
Got it. So understood. So. So basically, I want to understand. I just want to make sure I understand this. Basically, attorney's out of the country. Understood. basically impossible to get the closing docs out on Wednesday because of, you know, the attorney being out and all that stuff. I totally understand that. And so do you think that the closing docs will be actually signed, like ready Friday, basically?
Yeah,
Understood.
if we get the approved settlement statement from all the parties, which
Understood.
would be you guys.
Yeah, we'll approve that right away. You know, we're on top of it.
Yeah.
But I understand that. That means that basically we got to give the attorney, you know, 48 hours because that's what he's requesting, a draft. I understand. What I'm going to have to do is set expectations that the sellers can't move out. It's difficult because they have put a lot of. I'll have to figure out a creative solution because basically it's the money, right? It's the money.
Hey, you know what? What if we wire the money straight to the title company?
Ooh.
We've done that before.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
You're so smart. You're really smart.
Thanks. It just kind of happened. My brain's on like autopilot right now after today.
Wow.
Off yesterday. It's not even worth taking the actual day out. I worked from home, but still, it's just one of my computers crashed. I have 2 screens, so I was working with one screen today. It's just been a fab day. But yes, I think that would be the better solution.
That you're so smart.
Do you want me to call them and ask them, or do you want to handle it?
What I'm going to do is I will talk to them. I have a relationship with the agent, with the sellers, and then if I need you to back me up, I'll go, hey, Macy's going to back me up. So
absolutely.
Okay, great.
We're happy to do that. Absolutely, I got you. Just let me know what we need to do, and we're happy to accommodate.
Thank you.
In the meantime, I'll go chat with Debbie. She already knows it's on fire, and she's working her way there. So, but let's see if we can get the wiring instructions for that. We've done that. Oh, well, we do it a lot, so we're happy to do that, and that usually will work on all parts. You know what I mean?
Yes. So I will speak to the sellers, and thank you for accommodating us. And then what I'll do is I'll follow up with an email, you know, after I speak to the agent and the sellers. Is that all right?
Perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you, Missy.
Okay. Thanks for calling. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's really smart. I didn't even think of that. But it's going to be difficult. I gotta break the news. I'm gonna break the news on this agent. Let me call this agent. This agent's notorious for not picking up.
Your call has been forwarded. Your call has been forwarded.
I gotta call the sellers directly. It's gonna be fun. Let them know we actually can't do it on that day. Alrighty. So I gotta let my sellers know that, you know, this is the balance, right? So I gotta own it, but then I gotta also blame the title company on like some things that are outside of my control without throwing the title company under the bus, because the title company is actually great. we screwed up. I'll own it. But the HOA research just came in today. So it's just, I'm going to blame the HOA company. We're going to blame the HOA company. That's what we're going to blame.
Please leave.
Would it be weird if I sent the title company 10 grand before a buyer does to just wire?
That's what I was thinking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before a buyer even does, just to.
What you can do is get the HUD, get the buyer
to just send the money, and then 10 grand from that can just get sent out like as soon as.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa. It's Munif.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I have some challenging news I have to break to you. I just got off the phone with the title company. I called them this morning. I set expectations about how we're doing this. This is a little bit of a delicate transaction, especially with the closing you guys have on Friday. Apparently, the HOA company, I guess, you all have an HOA. You can't do a sale in real estate without having that HOA resale certificate. And the HOA just, I guess, dragged its feet. They only just got the resale certificate right now, and they need that to draft the HUD. And with that being in right now, the attorney, he's out of the country, and he needs 48 hours to draft closing docs. So now the challenge is, I know you guys took Wednesday off work to close, but no one could predict that the HOA would actually take so long to send over that resale certificate. So I know you need the funds from this sale, for the buying the property on Friday. It seems like this closing will actually happen Friday morning because the docs will just not be ready in time. Now I asked the title company, I said, hey, that's not acceptable. We need the money in, not only in their bank account, y'all have to wire it to title for your other deal. So they said,
we have to get a cashier's check.
They said, hey, no problem. We can actually wire the money to your title company ahead of time. So it's in there. Would that work if we sent the $10,000 that you were receiving from this sale? If this title company sends it to your title company?
Either if you could call Kelly or I'll call her and see first. Okay.
I gave her a call. She, I think she might be in the middle of something, but basically what I'm trying to do, and I can have both the title companies talk to each other, because this is something that happens sometimes with, same day closings where you have to sell one house and then you got to buy another house real quick. The title companies, they work it out with each other. So it doesn't actually affect you. It's, because imagine this. I gotta send a check to the title company. The title company then sends it to you. Then you got to send the check to the other title company. Wouldn't it just be better if my title company just sent it directly to yours?
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Okay. I'll talk to Kelly to work out the details. I just want you to know, I know there are some hiccups here, but we're doing everything we can on our end to make sure it's not a problem for you guys.
So your last email, is there anything we're signing tomorrow?
Unfortunately, I just called them. I said, hey, this is what we're supposed to do. We're going to work around your schedule. But I just got off the phone with the title company. They said, hey, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but our attorney's not even in the country right now. And, he's just on the other side of the world. He's still working. He just needs, at least 24 to 48 hours to get back to actually review and draft the closing documents. So there's no way, if he was in office, sure, but there's no way he can actually generate the docs to actually have you guys sign tomorrow. That no one could have predicted that. I think if the HOA resale certificate came in earlier, like yesterday, because they ordered it a while back. This was put in order a while back, but it just got in today, like late afternoon today, and they can't even begin to draft the final paperwork until they actually have that resale certificate from the HOA.
Okay.
So unfortunately, the answer is because of the delay in the HOA, they can't even draft the docs to sign tomorrow. I know you took tomorrow off to sign, and I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's okay as long as we can wait till Friday, because I know there's absolutely no way for either of us to be able to take off Thursday.
Yeah, we don't need to sign Thursday. Did you take Friday off?
Yes.
Okay, it will be done Friday morning. I know your closing's at 11. I'm gonna see if I can get the money in the other title. Your the title company you're buying the house from. I'm gonna see if I can get the $10,000 in their account. So it's already in escrow before Friday.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna attempt to do, even if it means me writing a check to title company personally, just out of good faith to make this deal work. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I will do that myself. I'm so sorry. This is a lack of prudence on my part, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make it work and make it right.
Okay, no worries. It was just kind of a little stressful for a minute there because we were like, we can't take off.
I know, and I won't expect you to take off Thursday. Alrighty.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I'm going to work with our title company. Our title company here for this side is being very flexible. They even offered to call your title company and say, hey, this is what's going on. Our attorney's out of office. The sellers, Lisa, she's good for the money. She's getting paid. We have the money. Can we just send it directly to you so it's not a weird thing that you're just kind of waiting her to send you a check? Can we just send it directly to you guys? So usually that's not a problem. I'm also going to call your agent, Kelly, and just update her on everything I just told you so she's in the loop.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So yeah, I'll get, I guess, with Kelly after you're able to talk to her.
Okay. Right on. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. I don't like making those calls, but if you're going to make those calls, you better do it, the right way. All right. Is that helpful? Do you see how, you can kind of have to push expectations a little to the right? Hey, what's up, Arnie? Justin's like, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you, Justin. Let me call the agent.
This is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. This is Munif.
Hey,
I have I have a little bit of troubling news. I just got off the phone with Lisa. I explained everything. She understands, and everything is going to move forward, but we're going to have to adjust a little bit. So I'm calling you. So basically, the title company just got the HOA resale cert like a few hours ago, and they can't even begin to draft closing docs until they have that resale cert. And this HOA, I mean, they ordered the cert a while ago, but it just came in. I don't know why. HOA might be a little slow or something. But once we approve the HUD, the attorney that drafts the closing docs is out of the country, and it's taking him max 48 hours to draft closing docs. And so I told the title company, I say, hey, well, that won't work. The sellers need the money in their bank account to write a cashier's check to the title company at 11 a.m. on Friday to buy their next house. And Macy at the title company said, hey, what if we send the money directly to title? We've done that before. We're not going to be able to close Wednesday, unfortunately. Look, if you're cool with it, Munif, we can send the money that they're going to get. We can send it directly to the title company, knowing that they're going to sign and, Friday morning, but it'll already be in escrow. So it's not like I have to send the money to my title company, then it sends it to your seller, and then your seller writes a check to then send it to the second title company. Macy at our title company is okay with just sending the money directly to the title company your seller's buying the next house at.
Okay.
That's, it's unfortunate. I really wanted to have them sign the papers on Wednesday and have the money in their bank accounts like Wednesday evening, Thursday. But it's seeming like that's impossible with the attorney being out of the country. So I said, hey, how can we get this done? Because I'd hate for, this paperwork, tying up the deal. If really we just need the money in the title company's escrow account by Friday. And that was her recommendation.
And so we're gonna have any kind of hiccups Friday or whenever they're.
What I'm trying to aim for is I want the money in title in escrow. I want it like Thursday. I want it there before Friday because that's all, that title company doesn't care, right? They just want the money in their account to say, oh yeah, we got it, right? They don't care if it comes in Friday morning or Thursday night, they don't care. So what I'm looking to do is I want to see the final HUD tonight. They said they're going to send it to us tonight. Once I see that HUD, I can then fund the deal. If I initiate it tonight, it should get there tomorrow. And I'm going to ask the title company, I'm going to say, hey, go ahead and just send 10,000 to the other title company tomorrow. I mean, it being a legitimate title company, I feel safe with it, us just wiring the 10 up front to the title company. I know your clients are going to sign. We might have an addendum or something, but, this is the only way I can think of where we actually have the money in the right place by Friday.
Okay. And then, so when are we looking at them to sign? Because that's another thing. Like, they can't just take off. Like, they're both
right
in jobs that they can't just take off.
I know. I talked to them about that. They said they can't take off Thursday. I said no problem. They already took Friday off, so they can sign Friday morning. That's not a problem.
So, like, are y'all going to send a mobile notary to Dayton? Because they're signing at 11 a.m. in Dayton on their new home.
Yeah.
And then they're moving in.
We can literally send the mobile notary to their new home where they're signing.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, we can literally do that. That's not a problem. And we're gonna actually start reaching out to mobile notaries in Dayton tomorrow. And then we're just we'll eat the cost of the mobile notary. We're not gonna make y'all pay for it. So we'll make sure. Sometimes mobile notaries, what they do is they try to when they notice that it's a rush order, they'll add a couple $100 as an express fee. That's fine. We'll pay it to make sure it gets done properly.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. Yes. Once this is done, we can finally breathe. But yeah, that's how we're gonna handle this one. We're gonna make sure that title company A just sends the money directly to title company B. I'm okay with pre-sending that. because it's to title is to another title company, so they're not going to just release it willy nilly. You know what I mean? They're going to they're a legitimate third party escrow company, so I'm just going to have my title company talk to them, and you know what I mean. So they're going to go. I feel comfortable doing that.
Okay.
And then that title company is going to know they're good for it because it's already in their bank account. So they shouldn't have any issues with that.
Okay.
Alrighty. I sincerely apologize. I should have anticipated something like this happening and maybe have had my staff, my team, maybe order the HOA research earlier than when we did. We ordered it a while ago, but maybe we should have ordered it sooner. So that's on me.
Yeah, something I feel like they did order it way earlier.
It literally just got in today, and they can't do a sale, until they have it. It's just they won't close. No title company is going to close if there's an HOA without that research. So, we'll do what we need to do and make this right and make sure your sellers can buy their next house.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Bye.
Boom. How's that? Thanks, hon. Cool. So did you guys see what I did there? That was a little bit of a tough one. Now everyone knows what's going on. We're doing a little bit of damage control. We're gonna have to do some paperwork. What do you call this? 3-card Monty. Have to do a little bit of that. I know that wasn't me calling sellers to close deals, but it's about a closing, and that's something I needed to do. It's hard for it. It's hard to. There's a difference in when the owner of a company comes in and actually says, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I screwed up." A lot more people actually are willing to accommodate than when you don't take responsibility. So it's like the first thing I say is like, "I screwed up. I'm sorry. I should have done it better. What can we do to make this work?" And people respond well to that. If you notice, the title company responded well, the agent responded well, and the seller responded well. Everyone's having to give a little bit, but as long as I take all the blame, everyone's willing to accommodate a little bit. So that's the right way to do it. You never want to. I did throw the HOA a little bit under the bus, but that's okay. Nobody likes HOAs. It's okay to throw the HOA under the bus. Don't throw your title company under the bus. Don't throw the agent under the bus. Don't throw your sellers under the bus. Don't throw your team under the bus. If you're going to throw anybody under the bus, HOAs are great common enemy. Lenders are great people to throw under the bus too, because nobody likes their lenders. But it's actually best policy to just own it and just say, "Hey, I screwed up." People are very forgiving. Alrighty. I got a text. "Hey, Munif, I'm supposed to get a contract this Friday. I'll walk through the contract Monday for the Tannersville deal. Leaning towards exiting on a wrap." Blah, blah, blah. Oh, is this for TC? This for TC. Our TC fee is $1,250 paid up front. Boom. All right, let's call more leads. Called Kevin. This is from an LLC. I don't know if this is. Yeah, this is a flip. They got hard money on it, most likely. Yeah, I probably don't want to call this. Call this lead. Okay. It's called William. Jermaine, that's the full price, man. $1,250 is the full price. You don't owe us any money after you pay in full. I know you're texting me right now about the TC stuff. Did I call this 407 number? No, I didn't call this number yet. Okay, let me call this number.
Your call has been forwarded to.
Hello.
Hi, William. Hi, William. This is Munif. Can you hear me?
Who is it?
This is Munif. I'm calling about your property on Ponderosa Drive. Is that something that's still for sale, or is that off the table?
Yep. It's still for sale.
Oh, wonderful. Do you have a couple minutes to chat?
Sure.
Awesome. Cool. Let me pull up the property here. 703. Boom. Wow. What a beautiful home. Wow. Alrighty. So I see you've got this listed. I'm looking at the photos on Zillow. It looks like you did some upgrades. Awesome. What's got you interested in selling?
We're relocating out of state.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming this is where you live?
Yeah.
All right, right on. I see it's been on Zillow for the past 2 months. How's that been?
Yeah, it's it's the market, right? We're not in the greatest seller's market, so it takes some time.
Yeah, I've been seeing that with some of my clients. We buy a lot of houses from sellers, and I am seeing that a little bit. When's your move?
Whenever we sell the house.
Oh, okay. So you're not in like any kind of rush to move, just whenever you sell the house.
Right.
All right, right on. Yeah, I'm looking at the comps because we're an investment company, and as long as we can rent it out and make some money that way. I see that it doesn't have an HOA. That's really good for us because we do different things with these properties when we buy them. I see that you've listed it for sale back in April. Typically, what I see a lot, just to sell houses, a lot of homeowners they do some price reductions. Is that something you and your agent have talked about?
Well, I had an appraisal done on the property before I listed it for sale. Just to make sure that I was in the right price range for what I was going to list it for. And I'm actually about $12,000 below the appraisal right now.
Oh, wow. So, and is there any room for you to come down? I know a lot of people, right now, a lot of people who have houses on the market, sometimes they owe too much money where they really don't have any room to come down. That wouldn't be you, right?
Yeah, I got a lot of money invested in the upgrade that I did on it. I originally purchased a house as a flip house for myself, my first starter. And of course, I ran into every imaginable problem that there was. As soon as I bought the house, that's when the market took a shit, for lack of a better word.
That's tough. I relate with you because I'm an investor myself, and I got caught with my pants down on a few of our flips, and the market completely turned the other way. It was market was doing great. It was having a great run, and everyone was making money, and we just had so many flips out there, and not a single one of them sold. Like, and we couldn't keep reducing the price because we'd have to lose a lot of money to sell them. So what we ended up doing is we had to do a cash in refinance and write a big check to our lender and just refinance everything at a higher interest rate. You know what I mean? And put a lot of money as collateral as a down payment. It was tough.
Yeah.
Curious, did you buy this on hard money or did you get like a 30-year conventional for this?
I got just a regular convention.
Okay.
So like I said, it was kind of my first time out.
Okay.
And I just kind of did everything wrong that I could possibly do, and so now I'm just trying to recoup my money out of it. That I had to wind up putting into it. I had to redo the pool, and I had a really bad inspection done, and unfortunately, I had no recourse with the inspection company. So I kind of just had to replumb the whole house. I had to resurface the whole pool, and we did some upgrades to the bathrooms while we were doing replumbing, and we put in a master closet, and we put in a toilet room, a water room in the master bath. New kitchen floor. We did the kitchen cabinets. Had a new roof put on it. So we just kind of everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah, that's tough, man. What did you buy it for? I see you bought it here, and it was listed at $480 in 2022. What did you end up buying it for?
I got it for $400.
Okay.
And it was just supposed to be a very quick and easy flip, and it just did not turn out that way.
How much money did you spend in upgrades since you bought it?
Well, I'm all in for. I probably spent a little over $30,000.
I see.
And upgrades.
And repairs, things like
stuff that have to be done, yeah.
So you're all in $430, and I see why you got it listed at $450 because you got to pay your agent,
Yep, exactly.
And now after paying your agent, you're actually not even looking to make any money. You're just trying to walk away from everything you put in.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get whole again. That's all.
I got a crazy idea. If I can make sure that you're made whole, would you be open to, I don't know, maybe you've heard some of these buzzwords, but would you be open to creative finance?
Yeah.
Because I see that it sounds like, you bought this house as a flip, you bought it at the height of the market, and maybe look, I did the same thing. We both bought houses too high because we bought them at the top, and you bought this house at the top of the market. You spent $30,000 of your savings, in upgrades and repairs, and in the hopes that the house may be, worth $500,000 or $530,000, but instead the value plummeted because interest rates went up. No one could have predicted this. You're not wrong for trying to take advantage of an opportunity. It's just no one could have seen it coming.
Right.
And it's just nothing to beat yourself up about. Trust me, I beat myself up for a long time after I had to do what I did. No one could have seen it coming. You're now in at 430, and then you want to list it to just walk away, and now your agent's got 6% fees, and you want to move, and you don't want to come down on price because that means this whole thing was a big waste of time and a waste of money. So you're on the phone with me, and what I do is I actually specialize in creative finance. The reason I ask you a lot of those questions is to see, okay, what do you need from this sale? And it sounds like if you can walk away without a loss, that would be a win for you.
Yeah.
If I can do that, I'm not even sure I can, but what it looks like is, and I just did this actually really recently with one of my sellers. I just got off the phone with Lisa. She and her husband wanted to move out of where they were living. And they similarly actually bought the house a year ago. This deal was in Texas. And Lisa and her husband, Kenny, they actually couldn't sell the property because they bought it at, $0 down, VA loan. And the house was just worth way less, a year later. They had no equity in it. I said, Lisa, don't spend money to sell your house. I'll pay your agent. I'll pay them their fees. No problem. Let me put a little bit of money in your pocket and let me just take over your mortgage payments. I'm happy to take over your mortgage payments. I can then turn around and put this on Airbnb or VRBO or, put travel nurses in here. There's plenty of things I can do with it. And, in your case, you've got a little bit of money, in the house. I can make payments to you on your money. So you're receiving payments on your equity, over time from me while I turn around and I put this on, a corporate rental or an Airbnb or something like that.
Right.
Somebody ever approached you with something like that?
They have not, no.
Would you be opposed to considering an offer where you get to walk away at your asking price, have your agent paid for, and you actually can recoup everything you put into this just over time instead of all upfront?
So the mortgage I would not hold the mortgage, correct? You would just assume it?
So that's a really, really good question. A lot of people ask me that, and I can tell you're versed in real estate because most people don't even know what a loan assumption is. I would actually not assume the mortgage because I wouldn't qualify. I'm an investment company, and loan assumptions are for homeowners to assume and then live in the home. I am a real estate company, so I cannot assume the mortgage. What I can do is I can buy the house subject to the mortgage.
Right. Yeah, I'm probably not really looking to do something like that. Yeah.
No, right on, for sure. It's not the best fit for everybody. So, this is just a preliminary conversation, just so you know that there's other options out there. I'd prefer if, there's an end buyer that comes in and they'll put, 20% down and go get their own loan. And then, they let, they basically pay off, all the money that you owe your bank and put your $35,000 back into your pocket. And that's the best case. So I think it's wise to just wait around for that, for somebody to come in and buy the deal from you.
Yeah.
But, before I get off the phone, I mean, what happens if this, nothing changes in 30 or 60 days?
Well, like I said, I'm not really, I'm not in a big rush to sell it.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I've turned down a couple offers on it already because it just wasn't worth it to me. So yeah, I mean, I'm not hard pressed to get out from underneath the house.
Right.
So I mean, I have no problem if I have to wind up renting it myself, you know, to somebody. That's probably what I would do before I just kind of build on it all together.
Right. That makes sense. So you're saying, hey, I might move out of here, but you know, I might be a landlord and just rent this out just to cover the mortgage payments. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. If that's the direction you want to go, you'll actually make more money doing that, in my opinion, because you'll pay down your mortgage, and you know, when the house prices go up, you can always sell. So yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense to me. Would you be opposed if I called you and maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 months just to check in to see if anything changed?
No, absolutely. I mean, you never know, circumstances in life and take you a step away.
Yeah, because you know, you never know. I mean, look, you might. I'm hoping I call you and you say, hey man, I found a buyer and you know, we're closing next week, and I congratulate you. Or you might say, hey, I found a great tenant. I'm really excited to put them in here. We signed a 12-month lease. We're good to go. Or you might say, hey man, what were you talking about? Can we talk a little bit more about the creative finance? You know, any of those would work for me.
Right.
All right, man. All righty, William. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, you guys take care.
All right, bye-bye. Boom, follow up. So it's like, you're not going to get yeses from everybody. That's not the point, right? The point is like, you just line it up. You line it, because there are some people, if you heard the calls earlier, they're like, yeah, I'd consider that. Oh, yeah, that'd be dope. He doesn't like the idea of a sub 2. I get it. I'm not here to convince anyone to do sub 2. It's just, you have enough people that are like, I would do something like this. I didn't even know that was an option. What do you mean I can do this? You have enough people like that, curious, you explain it well, you're going to get deals. Just fill up your pipeline. So this is a great deal to update in my Podio. Really nice buy. Bought for $400K on a conventional loan during the lowest interest rates we have ever seen. Put another 35K into it. All in 35K. All in 435K. And needs to recoup that to walk away after paying the agent. Doesn't like the idea of sub 2, but said to follow up with him in 30 to 60 days to see if anything changes. He is an open-minded guy. Boom. Build good rapport. Him. So now I've updated those notes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make them warm. I'm going to make a follow-up July 20th. I'm not going to say he's interested. I'm going to say it's like more of a cold follow-up because he didn't like the idea of sub 2. And I'm not going to convince him. I mean, I don't want to make him interested. I just want to see if his pain is, you know, to a point where he's like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not. Because like this guy is like a glutton for punishment, right? He keeps, he put all this money into this deal. He flipped it. He kept fixing more stuff, dealing with more headaches. And now he's like, I'm going to manage a rental from out of state. It's like, that's probably a bad idea. So, I mean, it's like, hey, look, we'll do the rental and we'll pay you and you'll make money. Or, he can do it himself and then deal with non-paying tenants, people damaging his property, all kinds of stuff, other repairs. So, cool. So, hey, what's up, Harvey? So nice to see you in here. All right. Last 30 minutes of my stream. I always do this. I do a Q&A. So, hey, I get a lot of people that say, hey, Munif, can I pick your brain Can I talk to you about wraps? I know you do a lot of wraps. I got some questions. Can I pick your brain? Anything, right? And normally I get on the phone with people when I can to answer their questions, or I'll shoot them a text message, but I've been really busy lately. So I've been telling everybody to come here to the stream to ask me all their questions on the last 30 minutes of my stream. So if you've had a question that you wanted to ask me, maybe it's about a deal you have, maybe you want me to underwrite something, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Now is the time to ask me. So I'm going to open up the floor to each and every one of your questions, and I'm going to put the stream link in here in the chat. So if you have a question, you can actually join my stream and I can actually bring you up on the stream. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. This is the time, the last 30 minutes, I always do it. It gives me a chance to interact with you guys. It gives me a chance to answer your questions. It gives me a chance to tell people to watch my stream if they have questions for me. So I get a lot of DMs like, hey, can you help me with this deal? Hey, how do I get rid of the DTI on a subject to? I go, hey, last 30 minutes of my stream, show up there, and I'll answer it. Now, what that does is it filters the people that actually just want to take, because they're not going to schedule to show up on watch the stream or participate. So it filters those people, and the people who do watch and show up, it's like, okay, cool, thank you, and you watched my stream, thank you, appreciate you. Yeah, whatever I can do for you, I'll answer any of your questions. So we've got about 20 people here live. Do you have any questions for me? Write it in the chat, or just come in and join the stream and I'll bring you up. And I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll wait for you guys to ask me any questions about real estate. I gotta send one of my buyers a mortgage statement. Any questions? If the answer is no, we have no questions for you, no problem, then I can point all the people to who ask me questions on Facebook and say, hey, check out Tuesday's stream. See, you should have been there. You should have been asking me questions, and you weren't. So I don't mind. I don't mind leaving if there are 0 questions. I get to go hang out with my baby daughter, give her a lot of kisses. So I don't mind doing that. Terry says, you give me the confidence to keep calling. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you to say that. All right. Going last time, any questions about real estate, about business, about entrepreneurship, anything at all, this is the time to ask. Otherwise, I will skedaddle out of here. I'll go hang out with my baby girl. I'll give her a lot of kisses and hugs. Terry is like, good night, Munif. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Rami is, hi, Munif Saza. I've been getting off-market lists from an agent. There's no dun, dun, dun. There's no what? No inspection, is that even good? It's fine to do deals with no inspection period as long as your buyer gets to see the house before you lock up the contract. So you have to have a good, strong buyer who you trust to see the house before you lock it up. There's a very specific way. So I've done that before. If I have I have to trust my buyer. I like having an inspection period, but not sure how to do it. It's in Austin, so you have to find somebody. As long as it's a fix and flip, you find somebody who's going to buy the deal, and you say, hey, can you walk it, figure out where you need to be at, and then they'll tell you. And obviously you've got to, have preliminary conversations with the agent, with the seller, make sure that you're close. And if they're like, hey, I'd buy it at 140, you tell the agent seller, hey, I can do 130. Your buyer is good for it at 140. You can then lock it up at 130 and then assign the deal to him at 140. You don't need an inspection period if your buyer already inspected the house. But typically just ask for one. Just ask for like a 5-day inspection window. Like, they shouldn't give you too much pushback about that. Really good question, though. Any other questions? What does your sales process look like, Jonathan? Can you jump on my stream? I'd like to answer that question thoroughly. Putting the stream link in here. Jump on. I'd love to ask you what you mean by that question. You joining us, Jonathan? Jonathan says, okay, I'll hop on. Let me get my laptop. You can also use your phone. If you have an iPhone, it should work. But yeah, no problem. You can definitely use your laptop. That works too. Any other questions? Jonathan has a really good question. I'd love to pick his brain. I'm figuring out what exactly is he asking me. Where is the link, Munif? Here, I'm going to post the link again. Boom. Can you see it? Oh, you can't see it on Facebook. I have to go on Facebook and post it. Here, hold on. Let me post it in Facebook. All right, I replied to your comment in Facebook to post it. When I post on my platform, it actually doesn't show up. So I actually went on Facebook and I replied to your comment. So you should have it now. I posted it right under your comment. These today's stream is brought to you by Body Armor. It's an amazing product. It gives you electrolytes. It gives you a little bit of carbohydrates. It's got 120 calories. It's a great drink to give you a little bit of sugar, give you some salt. It's got 40 milligrams of sodium. I'm not sponsored by Body Armor. I just really prefer them. My wife, we're gonna be sponsored by them soon.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make some content tonight, honey?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Nice. My wife, Love, has been making content lately. If you're not following her on Instagram, you got to follow her at Love the Investor. Hey, where is Jonathan? Bro, we're waiting for you, man. Jonathan.
He's going on a stream date with Munif Saza. He's going to get ready.
He's getting ready. He's putting some pants on. Okay, I think we're getting the settlement statement today from the title company, but we're gonna have to adjust with their title company. I would like the money sent tomorrow morning, so it hits title and they can send it. They can send it that same day. Jonathan, where are you, bro? It's kind of like the 10-minute rule. When you went to class and the teacher wasn't there for 10 minutes, you could just go home. Did you guys have that? We had that. It's like you go to class and the teacher's not there for 10 minutes. We had that at college. Like, professor doesn't show up for 10 whole minutes. You just go home. Class is canceled. Jonathan's not showing up for 10 whole minutes. I'm just going to go home.
It's funny. Jonathan, hope you're listening. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Kevin put a memorandum on our property because the sellers backed out last second, and now they're coming back and they're like, how much do you need to release the memorandum?
You think that there's another wholesaler who's buying the deal from them?
Someone else is buying it, yeah.
How much do you want?
Like 11.5.
11.5 thousand? 11,500?
Yeah.
Yo, get paid, Kevin. Yo, get paid.
Thanks.
Jonathan, bro, I don't know where you are. You know, I got like a family. I got a daughter. I'm a family man now. You know, I'm a family man. I gotta go provide for my family. Oh, there he is. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Munif, what's up, man?
I'm great, dude. Thank you for making it on the stream.
Thank you so much for doing this, man. A lot of value. I love the confidence, and definitely you make it sound pretty easy. So I appreciate
Dude,
that.
it is easy. It's not that hard. Like you talking to me, we're having a conversation. It's the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for doing this, Munif. I watch your creative underwriting in the Kajabi.
Oh, really?
It's fire. Yeah, it's fire, bro. So I appreciate that. What I meant, Munif, specifically as far as your sales process goes, my focus right now is primarily on acquisitions. You know, I'm definitely reaching out to a high paying list, which are pre-foreclosures, and just trying to qualify and disqualify, in the first 5 minutes. The thing that I'm having troubles with is whenever a lead comes in, what I do from it is I reach out to members in our sub 2 community. I reach out to members, say, hey, is this a deal? As far as like underwriting, that's one of my weakness. So at times I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunity because there's a lag when I get a communication back from another sub 2 student when it comes to underwriting. I know everyone has their businesses, everyone has, responsibilities. So, when I reach back out to sellers and say, hey, reached out to my team, this is where we'll be at, they'll say, oh, no, we already got an offer. Or, hey, I don't remember, who is this again? So I guess
that. Yeah, basically you're weak at underwriting, so you have to rely on other people to underwrite for you. By the time they get back to you, you call back and you've lost steam.
Yeah, absolutely. So like any rapport that I built, it kind of, I would say it does go away. I do try to go to your Friday. I know you have a lot of underwriting opportunities, but I try to go to the replays because I can't, physically be there all the time. So it's a little tough.
So excuse me. So it just depends. So like, here's a rule of thumb, right? Are these mostly creative deals or cash deals?
Cash. Yeah, I'm pitching cash first, and then I'm moving it over to creative if it doesn't work.
Okay, so if they're cash deals, you need to get good at comping. Okay. Get really good at comping. Are they in Texas?
No, so I'm based here in California, Munif. I'm in Northern California, and so I know I've reached out to Dustin, in the past. I know he just moved back out here to NorCal, so I try to reach out to other members that are more familiar with California, and so mainly marketing to all of Northern California.
You need to learn how to not underwrite. You need to learn how to comp in that market. Figure out what price point buyers are buying in that market. Not exactly, right? Just so you know enough. Like, for example, if buyers are buying 70 cents on the dollar, 80 cents on it, whatever that is, you'll know, like, okay, this deal, the seller's asking for 80 cents on the dollar. I know buyers are buying at 75 cents on the dollar. I'm close.
Yeah.
So you need to know if you're closer or not for that market. You need to know that. You can't have somebody else do that for you. Okay. And then what I would do is on these deals that I'm close on, I would start negotiating, and at the same time be calling people. I'm like, hey, I got a deal. It's a deal. I'm positive it's a deal. Can you look at it? It's a deal. It's not just a lead. It's not just some prospect who wants a price. It's a deal. We're close. I think they want 70 cents on the dollar. Or they want 75 cents on the dollar. I know buyers buy at this price. When you go into that with that energy and that upfront contract with your buyers, they're way more likely to move fast on it and prioritize it than if you're just sending them stuff all the time. They're not going to get back to you fast.
Yeah.
So you need to do that filtering first. So when you have stuff for them, it is actually legitimately close. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. So when it programs them to know, okay, Jonathan knows his stuff. If he's bringing something to me, it's actually really close. So I need to get on it or we'll lose the deal. So that's the improvement you need to make in your process.
Okay. And what do you suggest, Munif? Like, do I, in your opinion, should I reach out to buyers here in Northern California?
For sure.
Because I mean, the stuff that I JV'd was always because I couldn't find a buyer.
I mean, you can JV or whatever, right? But you just need to find the people who are going to move the deal, whether it's the end buyer, whether it's a JV partner, and you got to figure out, okay, where are they? What are they looking for? How can you bring them stuff that you're quickly like? How can you bring them stuff that's close for them to give the leads you bring them attention? Like, if somebody keeps sending me crap, right? There are people who just forward emails to me like, they're on wholesaler subscription lists and they just forward it over to me. It's like, look, I don't need that, right?
Yeah.
Then there are some people that are like, they know some basics and they're like, oh no, this smells like money. And then they call me every time that there's something there. And you better believe I pick up, like anytime they call me, I pick up because I know they got something.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work, but a lot of the times it does. So you want to be that guy.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And you think reaching out to buyers, seeing what they're actually paying for, what makes sense to them as a buyer, or
your
deal,
JV partner, the person who's moving the deals to buyers. Look, you don't need to add a bunch of stuff, like add a whole buyer base right now. If you're doing stuff by JVing, find the guy that moves it and they will know what the buyers are paying because they're JVing. They're doing those deals. So ask them.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And
Cool.
As far as like underwriting, do you think maybe I should just focus on acquisitions and underwriting will kind of confuse it more?
Focus on comping. Underwriting is usually something we use for creative deals. So there's a lot to it, but comping you should be able to get pretty good at it pretty quickly for like a basic.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense, man. Thank you so much, man.
Oh man, thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Awesome. That was cool. I'm going to do more of that. I'm going to actually bring up people on the last half an hour if they have questions like that. So, guys, if you're watching, bring me your questions on the last half an hour of my stream. I know I asked you guys like 17 times, but I'm assuming there are no more questions because I didn't see any more since I brought Jonathan up. So, thank you. Appreciate you. I'm going to go hang out with my baby daughter. You guys are awesome.